guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. Splayit is a new band, so I'm so excited to be reacting to them. This is their debut, I believe. Last Bus. Let's go ahead and see what this is all about. Ooh, interesting feel. Nice. Nice. Ah, cute.
언저리 선 인사를 건네 애써 시침이 뚝대 설마 나른 해 주인 아직 할 말이 많은 듯해 일어나긴 아쉬운데 우선 소곤소곤
Nice change up there. I really love the bass line in this. How fun. I really like the rhythmic feel they have in their verses. Ooh. Some cool things on the toms were happening there. Ooh, a little bit of harmonization. Ooh. Nice harmonization. And the piano coming through. Ooh, nice. Ooh, I love that. Ooh, nice little ad-lib there. Ooh, nice little instrumental outro. Cute. What a fun introduction into them. I really enjoyed this. I definitely feel like this is a different sound from a lot of the other bands who have come out. I'm really happy that a lot more bands seem to be coming out these days, especially because they have such different sounds, which is really good, especially since they have different sounds from, you know, their senior bands as well. So I'm really excited about this. From the very beginning, I love how we had this kind of slow process of the song kind of starting. You know, we have the cassette tape and then slowly it kind of like ramps up for this introduction. I like that the chorus is first. There's a lot of big hits in that. And then we have a little bit of an instrumental breakout before we go into verse 1. So it really feels like a really grand introduction. And then in verse 1, I love how prominent the keyboard was and the bass. It just was so nice to listen to. Actually, throughout this entire song, the instrumentation was so complex. I definitely want to go back and listen to each instrument individually because I think that they were each doing so incredibly much. I really noticed the bass line and the keyboard because they just were very prominent throughout, but there was a lot going on, and there was at one point I was like, ooh, there's this really cool like run on the toms and the drums. And it's just because, you know, when I react to a video, the first thing that I listen to is the vocal. I try to take as much of everything else in as I can, but since I am a vocalist, that's what I usually focus on and I gravitate toward, and then the instrumental is like second to that, and then the visual and everything, right? So it's one of those things where I didn't hear it right away, but I was like, oh, that's really nice at that point. So I really loved how prominent everything was going on with the instrumentation, so I definitely want to take a look again. And the pre-chorus, it was a nice change up because it kind of pulled away and then ramped up into that chorus, which was like where I noticed the bass line the most. It was so nice, and I like how uplifting this song was. It was really high in the singer's voice, and it just created like this such a nice kind of, I don't want to say just fun, because it wasn't just fun. It was like this cheerful, it had this like really a hopeful kind of feel to it, which I really, really enjoyed. And then in verse 2, I love how rhythmic the verses were in comparison to the chorus. The chorus was of course rhythmic, but it just had a different bit of a feel in the verses, and I think that was really smart. It really helped them stand out while at the same time keeping the chorus as like the key point, right? And I loved in the second time the chorus came around, the third time after the introduction, there was a little bit of harmonization. Smart to have that. In the bridge, the piano really came through, and then they added some extra harmonization with some high notes, really kind of ramped up, but then pulled back before they did that final chorus, which I loved. So they had this like the beginning of the chorus was very pulled back, and then they launched into it to kind of finish it all up, and then we have an instrumental outro. So overall, I really, really enjoyed this. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite part of the song or the music video? Like I said, for me, I think this was just a great way to introduce them. I'm definitely going to go back and listen to each individual instrument on its own just to see like everything that I missed, because there, like I said, there was so much going on within the instrumentation. And one thing that like surprised me I knew there was so much in the instrumentation is how light everything felt. So they did a really good job of like editing everything and really making sure that like what was supposed to stand out stood out, because there was a lot happening. And so it didn't feel overwhelming or anything like that. It just felt like, oh, this is really like light and airy and nice. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. So tell me what you guys thought down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.